Hello everybody, I'm Alfred, and the video we're about to watch is titled Breaking Down the Latest Surrounding WNBA Free Agency NBA Today. Now, for those of you who have been following me, you know that I'm very interested in understanding a lot about how several companies work, especially how companies that own sporting franchises like the NBA, the WNBA, how they work and how they are monetized, so that I can build something bigger and better, with the Investors Club. So let's check this out.
We're going to start with Breanna Stewart. The two-time Finals MVP is headed
That was a good shot.
back to the Seattle Storm on a one-year Supermax deal, the team that drafted her #1 overall in 2016. And also, it was reported earlier today that the reigning MVP, Jonquel Jones, has signed a core qualifying offer to return to the Connecticut Sun on a 2-year deal.
So basically, they are giving them 1-year deal, 2-year deals, you could say kind of like renting them for the team. So the team gets to, whoever owns the individual team, gets to draft or pick players that they feel they have skills and will win games and help the team. It's whatever way the team itself is monetized, in addition to getting paid by the NBA. So the team, sorry, the WNBA, the team gets paid by the league, the team, and by the team I'm talking about the team management, the permanent people, whoever owns the team, the management company that owns the team, the people who own it, and then the people in the team itself, those are just people who get traded and all of that, back and forth. Those are the players that you see and you think as the real team, but the real money and the real owners of the team are the businessmen in the background who nobody knows, who decides who gets put on their team or who gets taken away. So that is an interesting way, but that is not the only way to structure things. And this is something that is done with the WNBA, but also done in the NBA, and I'm guessing the WNBA got that structured from the NBA. It doesn't always have to be that structure, but let's
led the Suns to a league best 26-6 record last season, and then the Aces, they head into free agency with some decisions to make after hiring Becky Hammon to be their head coach. And Liz Cambage is an unrestricted.
And there is also a problem. Why do you have to hire a female coach? And this is actually, it's like they got half, because these are male players. I think they the sports jersey, so they got a female coach from the NBA to actually now coach in the WNBA, or perhaps she also might do both, but I guess that perhaps no, I don't think that might be the case. But why do you have to make everything a feminist thing and all about those feminist issues? If a man can do a better job, which the reality of the matter is that the best coaches in a lot of sports are male, not female. So these are a lot of things. But of course, another thing is that in this day and age of Me Too, the Me Too is dying out since President Trump is not in office. Me Too was really started to try to attack President Trump, but now that President Trump is no longer in office, and you now have somebody that actually, we have pictures of him sniffing all little girls' hair all over the internet, Now the Me Too movement have relaxed, just like the BLM and all of that. A lot of all these movements were just things that were politically motivated, created and owned by the left. But that being said, hire who is the best. This could be a problem. We know that they clearly went after her because she's female. So this kind of thing of like, oh, let us hire a female to be the CEO, or let us hire a female to be the coach, or let us hire a female to be in this position. You are not looking for who is the best, and this kind of thing probably explains why the WNBA, is suffering financially.
Free agent, and 2020 MVP Asia Wilson is a restricted free agent. But take a look at what Liz Cambage tweeted earlier. Yes, the WNBA, where a head coach can get paid 4 times the highest paid player's Supermax contract. And y'all think I'm going to spend another season upgrading my seat on a flight to get to games out of.
This is very interesting. I'm getting my seat on a flight to get to games out of my own pocket. So understand this sentence: upgrading my seat on a flight to get to games out of my own pocket. That means that the WNBA has a budget and has a seat for her on the flight, but she wants to upgrade it to perhaps first class. And by doing that, that means she's not going with the NBA's, what the NBA has made available for her as a player to, ride with. So this is lack of humility on her part. She wants to live a life that is outside of the budget of what the company she's working for, has allotted to her. And this kind of complaint, if she feels this way, then she should leave the WNBA. It's that simple. But the WNBA as it is already running on credits. It's running on money that it does not have. Now she's complaining about the pay of the head coach. Understand that this was a head coach. The head coach is getting paid 4 times the amount that Supermax contract players in the WNBA are playing. But understand, they got this head coach from the NBA. So if she had remained with the NBA will be paying her the NBA price. So now that she's going to a company that is making less money, for them to attract her, they will have to actually attract her with a higher pay than the NBA. And the WNBA does not have that money. But this is just reality, and this is business. You want the best. You cannot tell somebody who is making, for example, 1 million in ExxonMobil to now move to your own company for less than that. You have to top the price. If your company is not making as much as ExxonMobil or whatever oil company, and you want to attract their high performance, somebody from that company to work in your own company, somebody that already has a job there, and is making $1 million, you have to give them more than $1 million. That is just reality. That is just common sense. But economics and common sense is apparently taking the back seats to wokeness, in this day and time.
Of my own pocket. Whew, all right. So for more on this tweet and all things WNBA free agency, LaChina Robinson joins us in studio. Hey, LaChina.
Hey, Malika. Thank you so much. Well, what a way to start out, and a lot to talk about. Today is free agency day in the WNBA. LaChina, Holly Rowe with us, also Carolyn.
So they even have a free agency.
And that's where we start with Liz Cambage and those comments, Carolyn. When you hear that, when you read that.
This is also a problem. This is a sports show. The WNBA, you have to get men to be interested, and this is what you are doing. You bring 3 women to talk about sports. Everything women. How do you want to attract men to watch your show when you are doing this? A man sees this and he changes the channel. That is just the reality. First of all, even on the men's show, they, thanks to feminism and all that propaganda, they put women a lot of times, women who don't really like the sport, they will put like 5 men and 1 woman. But you have to understand, just like sometimes men need to get together and talk about men's stuff, and man cave this and all of that, men hanging out. One of the key things is sports, and it's a space where a lot of men don't want to see women. Especially women, for a woman to be there, she has to be all about the sport. She has to be like one of the bros. But this looks like a feminist talk show. And women themselves, in general, are not interested. The majority of women, they don't care about the WNBA. They don't care about female basketball. So your real target, when it comes to your target audience, the people who are potential customers, are actually men. So that is something that you have to think about. But of course, thanks to feminism and all this female quota, let us push female this and all this propaganda, this is the same madness that has created a situation where we see a lot of character swapping. They are taking out a lot of white characters, and making them African American, even in situations where they don't make sense. They even have Denzel Washington playing Macbeth. How stupid is that?
Comes to mind for you?
The biggest thing that I really recognize from that is that Mark.
And of course, she's wearing a mask when talking indoors. Not that I think the other 2 women are not wearing masks. Why is this one wearing a mask? How is this wise? And I'm sure she's probably vaxxed multiple times. She has probably received 3 vaccines and a booster shot. Yet this is a controlled environment. This is a show, and yet she's still wearing a mask. She couldn't take down her mask so that she could talk properly and be heard. This is how powerful the wokeness and the feminism and the stupidity is running things, and it's no surprise why the WNBA is struggling financially.
The biggest thing that I really recognize from that is that Mark Davis invested in a woman coach.
How can you take her serious, or how can you believe anything she's saying is about to be intelligent when she has a mask over her face? Even all the crazy people that are pushing masks, when you are giving a speech on a press conference, you take it down, let people hear what you are saying. Not that you put it on, you are looking like a Sub-Zero, And I won't even go into the stupidity of the marks and the fact that, now that midterms are coming up in the US, the NDC and all of these folks are coming out saying that marks don't really work. It's funny, because of course they want to still win elections. So and they know that people are tired of the marks, so they'll probably vote for somebody who is against marks, so who makes marks optional and takes away marks mandates. So they are now saying that all of a sudden the science has changed. Of course, you saw the Super Bowl, just a few days ago, where all the celebrities, none of them were wearing masks. Yet, in that same, state, they force children, any child that enters a school, they must be wearing a mask. And throughout the period they are in school, they have to wear a mask. They don't care, if the person takes it off and the person just leaves the school premises. But as long as you're on the school premises, you wear a mask. That is indoctrination. That is propaganda. That is Nazi programming. If you really care about the virus, you also care about the fact that, when they live outside or when they are coming in before they shop and they put on the masks, if there was a virus that was killing them, it would have gotten them then. But, they don't follow the logic. Now, when the people are saying follow the science, they may follow what the so-called experts are saying, not the facts. So whatever somebody who is so-called an expert or so-called authorized, I have this PhD or even those who have PhDs are not listening to it. It's those who are from specific organizations that are listening to. Because a lot of the top lawyers and doctors are coming out and saying a lot of things and speaking out against the vax, the mandates and all of that. Even Joe Rogan was, the move to cancel him was about the doctor who is one of the, he's one of the creators of the mRNA technology that's used for the vaccines. He came out to speak against the masks, and he did it on Joe Rogan's show, and they wanted to cancel Joe Rogan over that. This is a top scientist. This is a PhD guy. This is an intellectual. This is the guy that was actually, part of, a key person who was, the lead in creating the technology itself behind the vaccine. And he's condemning the vaccine and saying that people, it is wrong and all of that. Yet they are going against it because it is a matter of a cartel of people who so far has spread their tentacles into all facets of society, education, politics, different communities, and what they say, they spread uniformly everywhere. And it's like if you go against this, you are against the science, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're an insurrectionist, all of that nonsense. But let's keep watching this video.
$1 million is demonstrating where the WNBA needs to be in going after and getting quality coaches.
Becky Hammon spent 15 years in the WNBA as an undrafted player, made her way, became one of the greatest of all time. Becky Hammon earned every penny she's about to get paid because of her lifetime work in the WNBA. And players like Liz Cambage got paid more because of some of the work Becky Hammon did. So let's celebrate a woman getting $1 million contract in the league instead of women tearing each other down.
Preach.
Definitely don't want to lose the headline as far as Becky Hammon, but I do understand Liz Cambage's point of the coaches getting paid more than the players. Something there has to change. All right. So the other thing that Malika just mentioned, Jonquel Jones. You see
this, the coaches getting paid more than the players and saying that something there has to change. It's a matter of economic science, it's a matter of your value. What do you bring to the company? What do you bring to the company? If you think that the company is not paying you what your value really is, then make it known and prove your points. And if you are really that valuable, then perhaps you can go to another company or start yours. So that's that. I won't go further with this. It's just basically the same craziness littered all through. That being said, if you are watching this and you haven't given your life to Christ, make sure you go to Alfredo's VIP, click the salvation prayer link in the main menu. When you are at the page, you come out as a prayer of salvation. Say that prayer telling God you want to become a Christian and begin your walk with God. You know, that being said, if you like to also be a part of the Investors Club, you know, and be a part of what we are moving towards doing, you know, when it comes to taking the entertainment industry, you know, the entire movie industry, you know, the sports world and all of that, taking it for Jesus, you know, reach out to us on alfred.vip. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Remember to like and subscribe everywhere you see our stuff. Thank you and God bless you.